Oh My Dog with Jack D and Seann Walsh.
Hi, Sara.
Hello, Jack.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I think regular listeners will have noticed already that we've started this with a different salutation. I usually say hi, Seann, and Seann says hi, Jack, and it goes from there. But, well, Seann isn't well, is he?
He's not well. He's not joining us today, unfortunately.
Yeah. So, I mean, do you know any more than just not well? Because, I mean, there are a few texts and stuff from him saying he was ill, and we have to take his word for that.
We do. There was a mention of a nasty rash, which was quite concerning.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I because I said, look, I mean, in all seriousness, you know, you need to probably see a doctor about that, or did he go into hospital?
Well, I got the messages while I was driving, and a message came through saying that an ambulance had been called. So I assumed he'd been in hospital. Yeah, which is quite serious.
It is quite serious, usually. You know. I'm not at all saying that this is Seann, but sometimes people call ambulances unnecessarily, and you know, I mean, Seann's got a car. That's all I'm saying, and he's got access to a doctor. But let's not jump to any conclusions here.
Yeah, yeah. We'll wait to hear.
Yeah, we'll wait to hear, and obviously wish Seann all the best, and hope that he does get better. We've actually got we've been sent a letter here from Mildred Barrett.
Yes.
Seann's dog, of course. I'll read it out here. It's a nice letter. Hi, Jack and Sara. I don't know what Mildred's voice is. Do you know what it is?
I don't really know.
When he kind of goes quite high pitched. I don't think I can sustain it for the whole letter, but it goes, "Hi, Jack and Sara. My daddy is very sorry he can't be there today. He's poorly. I know it's real because he didn't take me out for walkies. I've forgiven him because he's literally the best human being ever. Like, just literally everything he does is the best. I love him so much. He's been sick for a few days, but I didn't want him to think I would treat him any differently because of it. So I still jumped on him every morning and made an extra effort to crush his face when he couldn't have felt any worse without actually being dead. Good luck with the record, and I know you both have Daddy's full support. So much so that he's even put pictures of your faces on his bedroom wall, although we must have run out of blue tack because it seems they've been held up with darts. Personally, I'd have placed the darts in the corner of the pictures as opposed to the center of your faces. Anyway, I think we can all agree it's a nice touch. Love the pod. Don't give up. Mildred Barrett." Okay. Well, I was worried about Seann's physical health. I'm now concerned about his mental well-being as well, because
he's spiraling.
I know, but very good to hear from Mildred Barrett, and well, you know, get well soon, Seann, and we'll see you on the next one, hopefully.
Yeah, I think he'll be back by then. He said he's on the mend.
Yeah, get the full lowdown. So that's good. How is Juniper?
She's great. She's had a really great week. She's been out and about. It was Mother's Day last weekend, so we took her out then. We went to a lovely country pub, so that was a very nice outing.
Really
and then
nice.
Yesterday, I met up with my friend Sara, who she was at my birthday party. I don't know if you two met that night, but my 50th. But she's got a dog called Daisy, who's a Cavapoo, I think. And both our dogs don't really love other dogs on walks.
Yes.
So we were a little bit nervous to see how they would interact when they first met. But do you know what, Jack? They got on really well. There was a slight growl and a little bit of a meow. But after that, they were absolutely fine. And we were walking around nature reserve. And it's quite funny as well, because I was going to speak to you about this. Sara was saying to me, when I first told her, we've been friends for years, and we both got dogs within about a year of each other. We'd never had dogs before. And when I first told her I was getting Juniper, I was saying at the time, I think, you know, we're going to have to become one of those families that go out in all weathers, and we'll get all the gear, and, you know, we'll just be really up for going out with a dog. And it's not turned out that way because obviously Juniper doesn't like the rain.
No.
So Sara was saying to me yesterday, isn't it funny that you end up with the dog that really fits in with your family?
Yeah.
Because none of us really like to go out and that sort of thing. Whereas Sara really enjoys the outdoors, and her little Cavapoo was much more up for going for this long walk yesterday than Juniper. I mean, Sara kept saying, she's like Dolly, because she was happy to walk back, but she wasn't that happy to go out on a walk.
Yeah. I mean, it's so important to get the right kind of dog for your lifestyle as well.
Yeah.
And, because, I mean, Juniper does really well because she goes to so many things with you, doesn't she? And really,
yeah, she loves coming. I think she just loves our company. So she's quite happy wherever we
really
are,
sweet.
especially wherever I am.
Yeah.
And it fits in really well. But I was wondering, do you think that is nurture or nature?
Well, it's a bit of both, I'm sure. With certain breeds are obviously going to be very energetic and we'll need that exercise. And you see quite big dogs. I see big dogs all the time when I'm walking Dolly, who I don't know get as much exercise as they would really like, I have to say, because they are so huge. And they're gorgeous dogs, all of them. And people just sort of, it's up to them what they do. But I don't know how they manage it. Whereas with Dolly, with Juniper, it's a manageable amount of exercise that they require, isn't it? And and certainly now Dolly's getting a little bit older. We're conscious of not overdoing it for her. But yeah, it is a nice thing. And actually going back to what you said about both your dogs not really liking other dogs, it is interesting that if you are friends with you and Sara, your friend, they kind of seem to know that, because I'm always amazed that Nellie, who is our daughter's dog, Phoebe's dog, Phoebe and Ben's dog, comes and stays a lot. And obviously Dolly's used to her, but she was always accepted Nellie in the house. I mean, they haven't always, there's been the occasional kind of, half friendly tiff between them where they kind of sit on opposite sides of the room and look at each other. But they sort of recognize that this is, and Dolly is, we always say she's not a doggy person. She does not like other dogs really at all. And in fact, quite sort of scared of them, which brings out that sort of snappiness that she'll snap at any dog that comes near her on the common.
Yeah.
And they kind of back off. They just know she doesn't want to play.
I think Juniper and Dolly are quite similar, to be honest.
They sound it, yeah.
Yeah, and I love that photo that you sent yesterday as well of Nellie and Dolly in the sunshine.
It's really sweet. Nellie came over for the day because Phoebe and Ben were both kind of out and about working, and so she came to us, and the sun was coming in through the back window, and they both found their little hot patches to lie in. It's very sweet. It's very sweet. But Dolly does this thing, which our two Dachshunds used to do, where I think I've spoken about it before. They had this thing called chew chess. Basically, you get them a chew, a little treat, and normally Dolly will eat that straight away, which is one of her favorite treats. But if Nellie is there, she knows Nellie gets one, and Nellie, it just disappears into her face the minute you put it anywhere near. But Dolly will then take it and go and sit on the sofa with the thing in front of her. And poor old Nellie just looks at it saying, "Why aren't you eating it?" And Dolly's like saying, "Because I have self-control and I'm going to have it later."
I know, it's tormenting.
I know, it goes on and on and on. Yeah. But with our two Dachshunds, Darcy and Walter, Darcy was always really the smarter one. So she would sometimes, if Walter was trying to not eat his chew, Darcy would distract him by going to the back door and barking, and that would make Walter go mad. And so we'd open the back door, Walter would go into the garden barking his head off, and Darcy would just turn around and go and eat his chew. It was so planned.
It's so genius. And I do think that gosh, sorry about Junie today.
Don't worry. She knows we're understaffed. I think she's trying to do her bit.
She's been the third person today. I think that they're a very clever breed, aren't they, Dachshunds? And other thing that Chris Packham was saying, that are there any other breeds other than poodles? I think it's the same for me. Are there any other breeds but Dachshunds? Every time I see a Dachshund, even if I'm driving past one, I'm like, oh, there's one. I just love them so much.
Well, I understand, because we've had Dachshunds and they are just adorable dogs. And we're now like that about Chihuahuas. We're just absolutely fixated when we see a Chihuahua. They're just fascinating dogs, because they just seem so bright and clever and humorous, and it's very rewarding because they just love being around you all the time, which is really just the sweetest thing. Really nice.
I've never really spent much time with Chihuahuas up until I've met Dolly.
No.
And she's so beautiful. You actually can't get over how gorgeous she is.
Oh, she is lovely. I mean, we hadn't either. Jane actually met someone she got talking to someone on the common who had a Chihuahua and said, "Look, hold her. She's really sweet. She's really nice." And she came home saying, I've just held a Chihuahua." What are you talking about? But anyway, that's what planted the seed. And we still had Walter and Darcy at that point, but that's what planted the seed, and that's how we ended up. Long story short, really. But no, they're very fascinating dogs. The only problem is, really, we're so devoted that it gets hard to leave her behind and do things like do other things other than being at home or go places where we can take her. But I agree.
I mean, honestly, it's so similar in our household, because I feel like that about if we were to take a family holiday, which is why we've done separate things or we've done things in the country.
Yeah.
Just because she's such a massive consideration now.
Yeah.
But one thing that has, I think, made Juniper feel more secure is sleeping upstairs. I think she doesn't mind being left at home a little bit now, because she knows that at the end of the day, she'll be upstairs and we're together. And that's a regular thing now.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be able to get used to leaving them for an hour or two occasionally, because otherwise life just becomes impossible. But I'm not a big believer in, I don't know what listeners think about this, about how long you can leave your dog for, or we should ask Simon next time he's on. But I do know of dogs that do get left for quite considerable lengths of time. And I just can't think that they really love that, really. It's not that they're so much that they're lonely, but that they're not getting exercise. They're often just sort of locked up in the kitchen or something. Can't be the best thing for them on those days.
And I always think about it in terms of their sense of time is different from ours. So for them, that's an even longer period than it is for us.
It could be. And as we've always said before, it's very hard because you can't explain to them. Look, even when you've got really small children, you can say, "I'm going out, but I'm going to be back tomorrow, and it's just one sleep, and then we'll be back," and all that, obviously I have babysitters as well, I want to make that clear, but all right.
You'll be fine. There's some Rice Krispies in the kitchen.
Exactly. Knock yourself out. Not literally, but anyway. So it's a great thing. What's there's a note here for today's show about Juniper's weight.
Oh yeah.
What's that about?
I find it really difficult to judge from looking at her. I have the idea of the Dachshund scale, which is the ideal weight is the number's about 4 or 5, and you see the shape of them a bit more. And then if they get like a solid shape, then that's too big. So I can never tell because she's long haired as well. And I was thinking, oh my God, I'm sure she's put on weight, especially after Christmas. So I had to take her in to get her weighed and pick up her medication. And I weighed her and I was just dreading it because she was 6.2 last time. And I thought, she's gone up. I'm sure she's 6.7 or something. Right. It's just getting out of control. Anyway, she was 5.8.
Oh, she's lost weight.
She's actually gone down.
That's brilliant.
I'm so pleased.
That's brilliant. Well done. Have you done anything to cause that to happen?
I think I've just been a bit more conscious about the snacks, that sort of thing. And maybe a little bit more walks, although it's been such a wet winter. So that's had an effect as well. Was this since Seann's very informative piece that he prepared for us about
equivalent snack calorie things? Where he told us a typical dog treat is the equivalent of a cheeseburger or something, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, do you know what? I don't know what came into your mind immediately when he mentioned it, because my mind immediately went to the things I feel guilty giving her, which is the corner of my toast. I have my toast in the morning. She's waiting. She knows at the very corner I will give her that. So she gets 4 little corners of toast. And I thought, Seann's going to say that bread is really bad and toast, you shouldn't be doing it. And it didn't go there at all. It went in this mad direction. With 28 grams of cheese.
Yeah. But I do remember a long time ago trying to work out, it was Barney, our first dachshund, whether he was putting on weight. And because you couldn't stand him on the scales, I did this thing where I would hold him and get on the scales and then subtract the weight. And sure enough, over like a month, he was putting on weight until Jane said, have you weighed yourself separately? And it turned out as a slightly different result. It was me all along. There's me looking at Barney saying, "You, come on, you're getting fat." So that doesn't always work. Make sure you know your own weight before you try that one.
Yes.
And then the animal testing thing has happened. Is it got to a parliamentary debate level?
Yes. So I think it's on about 110,000 signatures.
So
and that was a really big focus because although, when I went to speak to John, I went to Camp Beagle again recently because we weren't sure what was going to happen with the change in legislation of what animal testing facilities and how they're protected under law now. We didn't know what that was going to mean for animal testing protests and Camp Beagle. So I went to speak to John and he has said to me, they do feel quite exhausted. They have been there nearly 5 years, which was obviously never the intention.
No.
And he said, we've done a number of these parliamentary debates and obviously things doesn't move as quickly as you'd like it to in the right direction. But I said to him, unless we had those numbers, the signatures, it would look like the nation doesn't care as much and therefore things would go even slower with the progress there. So I think it's very important to have this. And I think we'll watch with interest. It's on Monday, the 27th of April. And Camp Beagle will be outside the House of Parliament waiting and watching the debate from outside.
And if you watch BBC Parliament, will you be able to see the debate happen?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's how they'll be doing it. So I may try and pop down if I can.
Oh, well done. It's an amazing thing to have helped with the petition and getting more people knowing about it and getting it to that point where it does get properly debated. These things have to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, do you know what? I think most people just still don't realise it's happening.
Yeah.
And so that's why, I love our audience so much because all our listeners got behind this immediately and started signing because they really weren't aware. It's hidden. It's been hidden for, decades, really. So I think that this is all good for visibility and helping people to understand this is happening. And there is a rescue at a facility in America. Chris Packham spoke about this last week, that the most recent trial, they were found not guilty for rescuing the beagles from MBR Acres. They've been found not guilty. Rose was one of the people that Chris mentioned he wrote the witness statement for. Yeah. Her husband, Wayne, was part of this rescue in America. And I watched it live, Jack. It was on, They were streaming it on Facebook. I watched it in floods. Darren comes in, what's wrong? What's wrong? I said, they're saving them. And he said, are these happy tears? I said, yes. So they managed to rescue 30. Unfortunately, 8 were intercepted and sent back in. But what a power couple, Rose and Wayne.
Extraordinary, yeah.
Yeah, they're really fighting.
So what do they do with all these dogs when they've rescued them? Do they rehome them? And
yes, they do, yeah.
They've got volunteers who'll take them.
Yeah, the facility in America they rescued them from, they have been found guilty of animal cruelty, but they're not closing it. So there's thousands of dogs in there that need to be saved. But I've heard from Rose and I'm hoping to get her on the show because she's such an amazing woman to just hear about her experience of rescuing the beagles and then being found not guilty, thank goodness, 3 years later, burglary.
It just feels like something that's left over from a long, long time ago when we perhaps people didn't find out about these things as easily or as readily, did they? Because no social media and these awful things were going on all the time without us knowing. And yet somehow this element hasn't been cleared up. It's like an anomaly in our legislation that it should have been stopped.
And it is for profit. There's no actual scientific evidence that this is necessary, that it works. It doesn't work. So why are we still doing it? And, the protest against animal testing goes right back to the early 1900s. There was a brown dog monument put up in 1906. And it just goes to show that the nation's heart is against this. And the legislation is taking a long time to catch up with that. And we just need that to get over the line.
Yeah. Okay, good. Well, that's great stuff. That's a good bit of progress that's happening there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So we've got a very exciting guest.
Yeah.
Today we're joined by Laura Mohan, founder of Billy's Bus, the UK's very first dog bus. It's a brilliant idea, which is inspired by her Cockapoo Billy and the American school buses that have been converted for dogs in the USA. Sara, you saw a reel of Billy's Bus and decided to get Laura Mohan on the show, which is a great idea. It's an incredible story, which only began 5 months ago, and it's not only enriching the lives of dogs who ride the bus, but the wider community too.
Hi there.
Hello, Laura. How are you?
Hi, Jack. I'm very well, thank you. I'm very nervous, sorry, but I'm very well.
Lovely to meet you. There's a bit of a delay on
you.
the line, I think, but we should be okay. Seann is not with us today because he's unwell, so he sends his apologies. You're not missing much.
Oh, that's okay. I've got a right cold myself. I've been necking strepsils and night nurse since 9 o'clock last night, so I hope I don't sound too croaky.
Well, it's good to see that someone has got the courage and fortitude to turn up anyway.
Absolutely. There's no way I'm missing this.
Well, it's really great to meet you, Laura. And that was Billy just there, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's here. He's just waiting for his moment.
Adorable.
Hi, guys.
Oh.
Gorgeous.
It's amazing. Is he a Cavapoo or a Cockapoo?
Cavapoo.
Cavapoo, okay. I think I introduced him as a Cockapoo in the little bit, but we're happy to correct that. It's a Cavapoo Billy. So, first of all, how long you had Billy for?
Just over 3 years. So he's turning 4 in July. Yeah, about three years I've had him for.
Yeah. And so how much was Billy, obviously owning a dog is key to it, but how much did Billy have issues that made you look around for a service that you could use and then found that service wasn't there, so you started it yourself?
Yeah, a couple of different things happened really. We went into doggy daycare. It's 8-9 hours a day. You don't really know what you're getting. You just hope for the best when you give them there. We went to one and then tried another one, which was better. But the first one, he was just sat on leather couches most of the day. There was no transparency over what he was doing, no stimulation, And then the other option is 1 hour dog walking, which majority of them are crammed into the back of a van, stacked in crates on top of each other with no aircon, no windows. Different dogs each day, which he'd come back super stressed. I mean, it's hard to tell, if dogs sometimes are they excited or are they stressed, but you know your dog, don't you? And he wasn't happy with it. And that's all they're offering. That's all there is available to dog owners. It's an hour dog walking or a full day doggy daycare. There's nothing that bridges the gap to do something that's longer than an hour, not a full day, but stimulates them and socializes them.
Yeah, it's really interesting you say that because I know that those dog walkers that turn up, I've seen it a lot because we're in London here, and they've usually got a transit van full of cages for these dogs. And so what you hear this one of those sliding doors on the side of the van, and that's always being slammed shut, which is horrible for dogs. So the sensitivity of their hearing, quite often the driver's got his music on at full blast, and you just hear the van pulls out, the door slides open, this poor animal gets out. A lot of the dogs inside the van are barking, and you think, well, that's not happy barking, they're not excited, they're actually stressed. I do think that is a terrible way. And then the other part of that is you don't know how long they're being ferried around South London, being from house to house. So if you're the unlucky dog, like I was with a school bus, I remember, you're the last one to get off and you're going all around the houses to get there. And that's really tough on a dog, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what is Billy's Bus? What is it?
I took inspiration from a lady in America. Her bus is called Canine Convoy. And I've been watching them for a couple of years because it just was like, this is amazing, and being a dog lover, just seeing them so happy and, letting dogs be dogs, So I took inspiration from that. And then I think I probably had a bit of a psychotic break for a couple of months where I decided to take a loan against my house and try and do it myself. And then went for it. So everything that I couldn't find in a dog walk or a doggy daycare, I was determined to have it for Billy. So I really just sat there and thought, what would be the dog day out? That would really transparent for parents, that gave the dogs a great day out, that was socialised to them. So many people, so many dog behaviourists said you can't socialise dogs and you can't pack. Dogs don't pack. I think we proved them wrong. And that's why we're so transparent in all our videos. Our dogs don't bark when they're on the bus unless they're having a sing-song, which Billy usually starts that off with a morning howl. And it's so funny how just he starts, and his girlfriend Bella, also a Cavapoo, then she'll start to get involved. Then we've got Westies, Airedales, you name it, Maltese puppies, all of them will be barking away in an excited, fun way.
Yeah.
But I completely agree. And that was one of the issues that I had with Billy. That was the final nail, really, was he went with a local dog walker, came back stressed. I put an air tag on him the week after, and I realised that he'd been in the back of that van for 2 hours and 19 minutes out of the 3-hour trip that I'd paid for.
Oh, that's unacceptable.
Yeah,
isn't it?
and what you just said there, I see all dog walkers. There's so many good dog walkers out there that really love their dogs, and I'm not knocking them. We've had there's some people around here that are driving around smoking. The music's on full blast to drown out the sound of the dogs barking in the back of the van. There's a big operation down south, I think, I know the one that you're talking about, where it came about that the dogs were being, I think it was 50 quid a day they were charging, and the dogs were in the back of the vans for 6 hours.
That's terrible.
It's awful. So everything, like for example, I'm always videoing in the bus all the time. We have WhatsApp groups for our parents every single day, so they get to
they can see what their dog's up to all day long. How lovely! How great is that?
I mean, literally, we send about 100 videos and photos every day, and we've already got them for 3 hours. Because aside from your husband, it's like, well, so I think your husband's bottom really, but it's your kids, then your partner, then your dogs. Whereas with me, it's my kids and then my dog. And I want the very best for him because he's everything to me. And I want to make sure that he's in a really safe, secure, but stimulating and socialising environment. And we provide an adventure for them. And why not? I know it seems silly.
Well,
but
I've seen the video of the bus, and I want to get onto that in a minute, but they all look really happy. They've got great big windows. They've all got their own lovely area. They're not caged in. No. I mean, they're on leashes, aren't they, to stop them, running around, I imagine. But they look so contented, and you can really tell they look absolutely fine. They know where they're going. They're with their mates. Tell us just about the bus, and you converted it. What kind of vehicle is it?
So originally I tried to import an American schoolie bus because all the ones in America are all the schoolie buses, and I thought they were great. Every insurance company was like, left-hand drive and everything. So it was too complicated. So I wanted the equivalent of an American schoolie bus. So I found the model that I wanted, which was a council school bus. I managed to find it at an auction house in Burnley, and then bought that bus and then set about branding it. I wanted to do something different. I wanted it all branded up. I wanted the team branded up to look super professional. So it started from there really, and then the branding just got silly, and then I had this vision of Beat for Billy's bus. So it's all covered in Beat for Billy's bus, which is incredible because all day the drivers are just on the horn replying to people beeping for Billy's bus, which is great fun. It's great fun. So we've got this bus, and then quite quickly I realised that it wasn't comfy enough for the dogs. So then we set about stripping the whole thing, converting it all. And my joiner, who is incredible, night after night till midnight would be sat there working out where all the chairs, seating are going to go, making these pods that were like UK standards. So the depth and everything of them is UK standard to a dog car seat. They've all got comfy mattresses in. They've all got 3 different types of restraints in. They're not going anywhere. Wow. And it's the coolest, smoothest ride ever. I mean, we wear them out so much that by the time we get back in, they're all like snoozing on the way back, with the little heads over the little gates. It's brilliant to see. And we're like,
time.
Job well done, because then now we have our taster sessions, which we've got 1,022 dogs enrolled as of this morning. My bus fits 75, but we can fit more than that, but 15 is the magic number.
Right.
And so we worked really hard to get the right pack. We've not just accepted any dogs. We've had to make sure that everyone would bond together. They had the right reactivity, the right style of play, and all these things that, we had to gauge. So we have our 3-hour tasters. And that gives us that time just one-on-one with the dog until we're comfortable that they're happy and confident. 'Cause it's, it's a big thing, a little dog, mummy disappears. I met with this wild woman with fairy hat on, a big yellow bus, 14 other dogs. It's a lot. So after that initial taster session, we'll be really honest with the parents. But like I say, we've got so many dogs enrolled. We want to make sure the dogs are happy, the parents are happy. So we tell the parent how the dog's got on. If we're happy that it will fit the pack and that the dog will be happy and get something out of it, then we accept the enrolment, and then they can book for more regular rides with us. We have a lot of rescue dogs, which take a lot more work. So we ask for everything, every bit of history. There's certain dogs who, on the taster sessions, you'll be like, oh God, a little bit not too sure about it. It seems a little bit, obviously you're going to be nervous on the first ride out, a little bit stressed, we expect all that. But sometimes you engage, there's more going on behind the scenes, and then we'll speak to the parent. More often than not, it will be because the dog's been abandoned at some point and it's a rescue dog.
Oh no.
So we work really closely, because these parents that are taking on these dogs, it's a big thing to take on, because they've got this history of behaviour that we're all trying to unravel to make them a happier, calmer dog. So there's a lot of work that goes into it between me and this team of people that I work with, which are, I keep saying it, but they are sent from heaven. They really are. They're all obsessed with every single one of the pups. So we all work together really closely, and we keep updating each other all the time. So there's a lot that goes into working out if these dogs are right to be together and if it's suitable for them, and they're not stressed on the ride. I mean, the bus just gets us to our bark park. It's just the transportation. And I know that's become the fun element of it, but it really is just the transportation to get us up to our park.
Yeah, but it's also quite a significant part of their day, and if you can make it a fun and enjoyable thing, and evidently something that they're really relaxed with eventually, and they're just sort of snoozing off and enjoying it, that's amazing. So how many people on the bus with the dogs when you go out?
So 3. We have a driver and myself and a volunteer, which has become the other side of the bus, that we've only just really bringing to light lately, which is this magical side of the bus. Straight away, we were attracting younger adults that wanted to volunteer. My background is volunteering for the past 12 years with adults with learning difficulties, young adults, old adults of all ages with homelessness and addictions. I could gauge people were coming on board and just coming on with us one day a week. And within such a short space of time, the difference in them was just brilliant. The confidence grew, because the only thing in our lives that don't judge are these dogs. I mean, I've got a few dogs that give a bit of a side eye, but, they don't judge, do they? And so it's been incredible therapy for us, for the whole team, but especially for the volunteers. It's been nothing short of incredible, and it's leading on to so much more. We're now looking at some of our volunteers to take on as apprentices, and they're going to carry out animal welfare studies at college. I could fill the bus just with volunteers. That's the number of people that have applied to be a volunteer, which is incredible.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Laura, it's so brilliant, because when we spoke the other day, I was absolutely blown away, not only by the idea, which I just thought was really fun, and that's what attracted my attention, but also when we got talking, how much it's impacting the community, how much it makes people smile when they see the bus go past, all of that. And then you are helping not only these dogs, and, it is a business at the end of the day, but you're helping the community and these volunteers. Was that something that has grown, or was that something you set out to do from the start?
I think a little bit of both. I think consciously, at the time when I stopped volunteering, the week before I started the bus, I was doing two days a week volunteering. And I knew that I wanted to do something together, but I wasn't quite sure how it would work. The original idea was the concept of doing the bus. And then within a week, I had 2 volunteers on our very first week, and then you realise straight away that I could combine both things and provide this A service, but also do loads of good in the community. And within a matter of 6 weeks, we could see the difference with these volunteers, and then we knew we were onto something. The statistics are 4.86% of adults with learning difficulties in the UK will ever go on to paid employment. That's over 95% of adults with learning difficulties will be on benefits forever, because there isn't anything out there for them. Now, like, for example, we've got 2 volunteers now that are both at college studying animal welfare. this wasn't on their radar 6 months ago. There was nothing for them. And what is available to adults with learning difficulties is a whole host of workshops and things like that, that's all indoors. And then that line of support pretty much gets cut off when you're 18. There's nothing available for people. So we as a nation are missing out on all these people that have got so much to give to the workforce, and because there's just nothing there for them to try. And the difference in them is confidence. One of my volunteers was on ITN last week. We were all on the phone crying. You know, we were, it was the most emotional night of my life to see this young gentleman who's beautiful inside and out have the confidence to speak to a reporter. It was just amazing. One of the best things that I've ever been part of in the whole of my life. And we're just working with another council now in Durham, and they have a SENS unit. And again, the guy behind it, all of them behind it, it's inspirational because in County Durham, the percentage of adults with learning difficulties that ever find a job in the workforce is 0.04%. It's the lowest in the whole of England, which is, it's not shocking, it's deplorable, isn't it? That there isn't more for people. So we're working with them now, and I'm hoping they're going to be my very first, well, they will, I've just come off the phone to them this morning, our very first community bus. So they will work with adults with learning difficulties, and they'll be driving around, and their members will be helping pick up the dogs, taking them to the park, so they get a sense of community, they get socialised themselves. They're outdoors, they're working with dogs who don't judge, they don't care where you're from, what your background is, how much money you've got, they don't care. And they will get a place in society, and they'll get a role that each morning they'll look forward to. And everyone deserves that. Everyone should have that opportunity.
They should. I had no idea that it had that element to it, the project. It's fantastic. Have you got plans to expand and have another bus and keep going? Because it sounds like you've got a waiting list of dogs and probably people as well who'd love to get involved.
Yeah, absolutely. Bus number 2 is ready to go. Just so I'm hoping to get on the road in the next couple of weeks. Which is brilliant, and then we've got loads of volunteers, we've got loads of people that want to work and be a part of it, so that's magical. I'm already concentrating on the social enterprise of stuff now, so I'm working with Bradford Council and with Durham and trying to see if we can get a bus, not for profit as a social enterprise, but as a business. Me and my team have slain every issue and problem that you might have, and there's a lot to think of because the way I look at it is I have 15 children on the bus every day that I'm in charge of, and you know, and dogs are a lot quicker at trying to escape than kids are, believe it or not.
I bet.
You have to have a lot of responsible, practical, serious people, and you know, it's not the socials make it look like it's fun, but there's a lot of seriousness that goes into what we do.
Oh, for sure. It's not, you're not playing around. It's do you have to have one person for every 5 dogs or something, is it? Or?
Yeah, well, it's 1 for every 6, but on an open field, a secure field, it's 1 for 10. So ours is 1 for 5. So you know, we've got we do more than most people do. But we've got our own secure dog field, which I've built up on the Cow and Calf in Ilkley, and no one else is allowed on there. It's just for Billy's bus. And we have dog trainers come up and help with just like your basic recall and lead pulling. That's all included in our service. And then we send all the videos onto the dog owners just to try and educate a little bit with tips and trips. And I'm not a dog behaviourist. I'm not a dog trainer. I wasn't a dog walker as such before I started this. I've just always been obsessed with dogs and did my canine first aid course and did some animal courses online because I was interested in it. We're hoping to roll these out across the country. I really want to try and get people to change their understanding of dogs deserve more. They deserve more than being in the back of a, you know, nasty van with no windows, no aircon, no heating for God knows how long. They deserve more. And so if we can roll out these buses across the UK and dog walkers use us as an alternative to their, you know, standard mode of transport, then I would love that.
It's a brilliant idea.
It really is.
What's your history with dogs then, Laura? Have you always had dogs? Have you grown up around them?
Phases of. I had a Bichon Frise for many years.
Oh yeah.
And then he went to my sister when I moved away. And then I've always loved dogs. I've always circumstances, moving around and kids and stuff like that. I actually bought Billy for my daughter, Keena. And in typical style, like she did one TikTok of him and then didn't send it to him for like 3 months. So then he became my dog. I mean, my kids are like, you love him more than me. And I'm like, no, it's a different type of love, kids. It's a different type of love. But I've always just been obsessed with dogs, always loved. Same with my team. Like one of my team, Ray, him and his partner have got 6 dogs. His wife has taken, she was a world-class agility trainer. She's taken dogs to Crufts. All of us have got dogs. There's one member who doesn't have a dog, and he is now obsessed with dogs. Isn't it funny? He's we call him the dog father. He's just incredible with dogs. You can't not be. And when you're on the bus or at the park, just seeing the dogs off lead, because they're off lead before they even get to the park. When we stop at the bus and when we open the field up, they're off lead straight away for the whole time that they are there. Because dogs should be allowed to be dogs.
Yeah, sure.
You know, and who play and stimulate. I mean, I think I've dislocated my shoulder from the amount of balls that I've thrown over the past 5 months. But they just want love. They want attention. It's really simple.
Yeah. It does seem extraordinary that you know that little kernel of an idea that has grown out and become this real success story so quickly as well. I mean, it's a really wonderful thing.
It's wild.
Yeah.
The amount of attention that you're getting, because I didn't even realise when we spoke on the phone that you'd already had so much media interest. You've had Disney on the phone. I mean, it's unbelievable.
It's crazy. I've got every week and I'm thinking, is this really happening? I mentioned to you, I got an email from Disney and I said to my kids, have you two done this? You know, are you pulling my leg? And so, to be asked by Disney to film, I mean, I've already said to them, I'm going to be pitching for a Billy's Bus Adventures. That's going to be the next Toy Story. And we want Brad Pitt as Billy's voiceover, please.
I can see it happening. I can see it happening. So Billy himself at home, what kind of dog owner are you at home? Are you soppy, strict, or?
Oh, I'm terrible. I mean, I'm a single mum of 2 kids, so this little boy sleeps on my head every night. You know, what's mine is his. He comes to Home Sense with me. He comes to Morrison's with me. You know, he comes to the bathroom with me. He's my shadow, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We all go through times in our lives where we have low periods, don't we? And I've hit one of them a couple of times over the last couple of years. I lost my mum a couple of years ago, and this little boy took me out of the darkness, because you have to walk them, you have to go out, and that means to a degree you have to be sociable, because having a dog makes you communicate more with people, doesn't it? And he lifted me out of it, and time again, you know, when there's problems, I'll look at his little face and I think, oh, you know, and it does that, doesn't it? We're working with an amazing enterprise in Leeds called Andy's Men's Club. There's similar ones around the UK. We've got like the Shed in Huddersfield, and basically it encourages men to all get together, have a pint or have a cup of tea, whatever's going on in your life, isolation, loneliness, just all sit down and chat together. And the gentleman's called Nick that started it off. And he's been incredible. I realised quite quickly that a lot of these gentlemen that were coming in had dogs. So we're planning these social evenings because it's another way to get people to mix together who would otherwise be isolated. If you've got a dog, straight away you've got something in common and you've got something to talk about. And that's an opening for all of us to start talking to each other a little bit more.
I know Sara has experienced that because she got a dog as a result of doing Oh My Dog. Seann, whose idea this podcast was in the first place, he experienced the same thing, that you immediately start talking to people when you've got a dog. And obviously I find the same. It does bring people together. It's a great leveler, isn't it?
It really is.
I particularly like as well that you've been able to involve people who aren't in a position to own a dog themselves, but just love having that contact. It's quite an important part of that.
It really is,
a lot of people out there.
And we encourage people, we've got a lot of bereaved dog owners that haven't got the time commitment or they're not financially able to get another dog. So we invite them up to the Bark Park. Come up, come and see us, come and get your dopamine hit. And little things that we do lots of drive-bys to schools, nurseries, nursing homes. We literally just drive by, stop. They come and take a look at all the dogs on board, have a wave, and they love it.
It must be such a lovely thing to see, a whole busload of little happy dogs going by.
Honestly, you must come and see us, because people post going, honestly, I drove past your bus and I thought I was hallucinating, because there's all these puppies looking out of a window. And we do a couple of pickups for people that can't, for whatever reason, mobility reason, things like that, they can't get to our drop-off point. So where we can, we'll pick up from home. There's one street in particular, Milk Lane, it's all like back-to-back houses. Whenever we're going past, they're at the kitchen windows, and you can see them going, like, oh, if you drop us, we're going, hi, with all these dogs in the window. And it just raises smiles wherever we go. Whatever's going on in your head, if you're thinking about how can you afford the gas bill next month, or mortgage interest rates have gone out, just for 10-30 seconds, it stops that negative thinking, and you're looking up at a load of dogs looking out the window, and it just makes people smile.
It sounds like a great thing for everyone. It's been amazing talking to you, Laura, and hearing about Billy's bus. And I'm sure it's just going to go from strength to strength listening to you talk. Your enthusiasm and energy for the project is obviously rubbing off on everyone, canine or human.
Brilliant. Just love it.
It is brilliant. Yeah. The question we always finish our interviews with is, do you let Billy kiss you on the mouth?
Every day.
I had a sense it might have come to that,
Absolutely. And I was listening to Chris Packham yesterday, and he was talking about how good it is for dogs to lick your wounds. So that in itself is a reason to let him.
Completely vindicated. Absolutely. Yeah. That's fantastic. Laura, thank you so much for coming on and talking to us. And we hope to get an update from you in the future. It'd be really nice to hear how well you're doing. I'm sure it'll continue to thrive. It's a fantastic project.
It's a privilege to speak to both of you. Thank you so much. It's wonderful. So thank you.
Oh, you're brilliant, Laura. Seriously, you're doing such amazing things.
Oh, thank you. We'll keep going, won't we, Billy?
I'm sure you will.
Thank you both so much.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
That was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, she's just wonderful.
It's quite a moving story, really, because I didn't realise that there were so many layers to that project, and it shows that when something is done with the right reason, with the right intention, and there's nothing cynical at all about it. She saw a need and something that she would like for her own dog and for herself, and so she made it happen. But the kind of ripple effect of that across the community is amazing. You get sort of people involved, and it's changing their lives, and it's obviously changing the dogs' lives. That's a really great feel-good story. I'm not surprised Disney got involved.
Yeah, I know. They went to a cinema to watch Hoppers, and they were filming the dogs in the cinema, so it was like they're watching it. That's what they've done, and they put the reel out.
Good morning, boys and girls. Look at all you excited pups ready to go and watch our favourite film, Hoppers.
Honestly, I was just blown away speaking to Laura the other day, and I really wanted to bring it to the show because I just thought, out of an idea like that, and it's affecting so many people's lives, and it's going to extend probably across the country. Just brilliant.
That's a really good call. Well done. That's a great guest to have on the show. Seann has missed a treat talking to Laura, but I'm sure she'll be back, and we'll hear from her again very soon. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone, for listening to Oh My Dog. We hope you enjoyed getting to know a different side of our guests through their love of dogs. And please go and subscribe to us on Spotify and YouTube and sign up for our newsletter, all of which can be found at our website, omdpod.com. Email us at hello@omdpod.com and find us on Instagram at omdpod. You'll find loads of extra content and videos there. And send us your voice notes. Over to you, Sara.
And don't forget to leave us a 5-star review wherever you get your podcast to. And remember, a dog is for life, not just for podcasts.
Yeah.
Who needs Seann?
Seann? No, we don't need Seann at all. I think we've proved that tonight, haven't we? You know, you don't need malingerers. A guest like that, you know.